It's a beautiful Friday night here in Boston, Massachusetts, and a lot of the attention is on Fenway Park. Why? Because it's time for baseball, as Pix 11 presents New York Yankees baseball. Tonight it's the New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox in the second game of a four-game set from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. First game of this series did not go the way the Yankees wanted, as they lost 15-7. And the strange aspect of it, Paul, was it started very well, but then after that, things unraveled.
Well, first inning, you come into a big series, you think, how can we get off to a good start? Boom, Didi Gregorius, a three-run homer he gave to CC Sabathia. Later, hit his 20th of the year again. But then all of a sudden, things started to change. A couple mishaps in the field, which the Yankees have done recently. And you could feel the momentum changing. The Boston fans were in it. Steve Pearce, he had an absolute career game. That's his third home run of the game, and an absolute blowout before we left here last night.
Now let's take a look closely at that fourth inning, a nightmare. 8 runs allowed, 8 hits allowed, 5 of them extra base hits. Red Sox sent 13 batters to the plate, and 3 Yankee pitchers had to be used over 31 agonizing minutes. But you toss that away now, and you move on to tonight. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup. Rick Porcello will get the start for the Red Sox, and for the New York Yankees, it's Luis Severino. First 18 games of the year, almost unhittable, David. Last 4, not so much.
Well, no doubt about it, and the Yankees need him to right the ship tonight. As Aaron Boone likes to use the expression, be a dude, well, he needs to be the dude tonight and get back to what he was doing earlier in the year, and it really comes down to location and mix of pitches. How about this changeup, righty on righty against J.D. Martinez? That would work tonight, but really it comes down to location, 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 and with anything in life, with real estate, with pitching, when you're missing your spots like that, you're going to get hammered. It doesn't matter who the opposition is, especially here at Fenway Park. It really comes down to command and confidence for Luis Severino.
These are splits you don't want to see. Those first 18 games I spoke about, an ERA under 2, opponent's batting average against under 200, just 6 home runs allowed, but in the last 4, ERA almost 9. Batting average against almost 400, and he's allowed 7 home runs. That has to improve. He has to snap out of that. And the Yankees have to turn the page. That's the most important thing. When we return, Meredith Marakovitz talks to some Yankees about how you turn the page from a loss like last night. That's coming up next on Pix 11.
Welcome back. I'm Meredith Marakovitz. There's no question last night's loss was a brutal one for the Yankees. They're now 6.5 games back from the Red Sox in the division, but they are not focused on the past. Instead, they're looking ahead to the future, focusing on turning the page.
One loss is one loss. It doesn't matter if it's 5-4 or 2-1 or 20-3. So I mean, you know, it's a tough game, and it's a tough game to be a part of. But you know, we just gotta. That's the beautiful thing about baseball. We don't have to wait a week to redeem ourselves.
I mean, we got 3 more games left, so we got to do what we can to win these next 3 games.
What was the message that Aaron Boone had for the team after the game and even coming into today?
That we got to win ball games. You know, this is a team that we're chasing after, so we got to win against them.
But you got to be able to turn the page and come out and be in the right frame of mind heading into another big game today.
The Yankees opted to fortify their bullpen a little bit more. They optioned Luis Cessa, brought up Tommy Kahnle. He should be here by first pitch. Plenty more to come when Picks 11 returns. Michael Kay will be joined by David Cohn and Paul O'Neill. First pitch coming your way after the break.
Get to Nissan for big model year-end savings. Shop ChooseNissan.com. By Chase, make more of what's yours. By the Lincoln Motor Company. By Northwell Health, look north. By Mattress Firm, where your budget stretches further. And by your tri-state area Land Rover retailers, Land Rover, above and beyond. Another hot one here in Boston. Rained a little bit this afternoon. You'd think it'd take some of the humidity away. It did not. 2 straight hot days here in Boston for the Yankees and the Red Sox. So, Red Sox have taken the field. Taking his warm-ups, Rick Porcello will take over the Yankees starting lineup. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Brett Gardner will lead off. He'll play left. Batting second, the right fielder, Giancarlo Stanton. Didi Gregorius. A couple of home runs last night. The shortstop will bat third. Cleaning up, center fielder, Aaron Hicks. He's got good numbers, batting in the 4 spot. Gleyber Torres at second base will bat 5th. Batting 6th, playing first base, Greg Bird. The DH tonight is Miguel Andujar. Austin Romine will catch, will bat 8th. Batting 9th, playing third base, Neil Walker.
And here is New Jersey product, Rick Porcello. Going to be on the bump here in Fenway against the Yanks. Pretty solid year all the way around. See those numbers? He got good control. Only 33 walks and 131 2/3 innings. And let's tell you a little bit more in our pitcher scouting report brought to you by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And he's been a consistent performer. Really a lot of numbers to look at, but he has made 20+ starts in each of his first 10 major league seasons. becoming one of 7 AL pitchers to ever do so. And, you know, that's pretty good if you think about that. He's well supported, over 7 runs a game he gets, and tough on the Yanks at Fenway, Michael. He's 4-3 with a 1.29 here against the Yanks.
All right, how did the Yankees bounce back from last night? Actually, their last 2 games where they did not play well whatsoever. So Gardner digs in. He's ready. Porcello is ready, and let's do it here at Fenway. First pitch is a strike. We're underway. Adam Hamari, the home plate umpire. Phil Cuzzi at first. Chris Conroy at second, and Dan Bellino is at third. Well, I don't know if you noticed it, David. I took a look at a lot of these sites that grade the umpires. Bellino had a rough night last night behind the plate.
You know, on both sides, you could see both benches and dugouts were chirping the entire night. Giancarlo Stanton got rung up on a pitch pretty far inside and a key point.
That will get Gardner, and he'll take first. Gardner taking a look at Porcello and walking slowly to first.
But it's not intentional. No way do you hit the leadoff man. But it, you know, as a hitter, it still frustrates you. It irritates you. You know why? Because it hurts. Right under the armpit, right on the back of the tricep. See Leon's look at his reaction.
I used to do the same thing at Conway Park at my wiffle ball games, staring at my brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get that stuff over the plate.
Here's Stanton. And there's a strike. Hey, over the last couple of series, we've seen a lot of Yankee batters get hit. And we spoke about it yesterday. The Yankees are not pitching inside. They're not moving people off the plate because sometimes you miss and you're going to hit somebody, and other teams seem to do it with impunity.
You know, it's 2 schools of thought there, Michael. And, you know, you're right. We made the point last night. It's the ability to pitch inside for strikes and also to make him move his feet a little bit. And I'm not suggesting hitting anybody on purpose or throwing up above the belt or by their hands or their head, but make their feet move a little bit and then double up inside and own that inside corner. Takes all the pressure off your off-speed pitches if you can do that.
Foul back.
Yeah, Coney, looking back at facing you, there was never an intent where you were going to hit people, but there was never an at-bat where I didn't have to move my feet at one point or move off the plate, because you like to use the outside part of the corner at times, and to get there, you've got to get hitters off the inside part of the plate.
Hit sharply to second. There's 1. There's 2. A 4-6-3 double play. Let's check out the entire Red Sox defense, brought to you by Altice One from Optimum. Benintendi in left, Bradley Jr. in center, and Betts in right. Infield, Nunez at third, Holt at short, Kinsler with a nice play to start that double play at second, Pierce at first, Sandy Leon behind the plate, Porcello's on the mound.
Tell you what, in the first couple games, Kinsler's been all world. They bring a guy over. Last year they brought Nunez, and he just did everything. Well, so far, so good for Kinsler. When you look at what he's done offensively and defensively.
And there's a strike to Didi.
It's a good point, Paul. You could put Pierce into that category as well.
Didi hit his 19th and 20th home runs last night. In his last 20 games, he's been hot. Who's Hot brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. So in 20 games, hitting .342, 5 homers, 18 ribbies, slugging at a .620 number. And the 0-2. Still 0-2. Porcello's 29 years old. This is his 10th big league season. First 6 with the Tigers, who drafted him, and 4 with the Red Sox. Former first-round draft pick by the Tigers out of Seton Hall Prep in West Orange, New Jersey.
Yeah, he's got 297 starts now. This was his 297 start, Michael. So, you know, and only 29 years old.
As a Red Sox, 11 starts against the Yankees. You saw the numbers. And the 0-2. 1-2. Won the Cy Young in 2016 with a 22-4 record. 3.15 ERA. Gregorius spoiling pitches.
It certainly is. There's 4 consecutive balls where, you know, they've been in off the inside corner, then away. Now this off speed out of, you know, indeed with his balance the way he is able to foul those pitches off.
Popped up. Nunez makes the play, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Yankees nothing. Red Sox coming back. Starting lineup brought to you by New Jersey Travel and Tourism. Learn more at visitnj.org. Mookie Betts in right field will lead off, batting second and playing left. Andrew Benintendi hit 3 home runs last night. Steve Pearce plays first base and bats third. Cleaning up the DH, J.D. Martinez, Ian Kinsler at second, Eduardo Nunez at third. Brock Holt plays shortstop will bat 7. Batting 8th and catching, Sandy Leon. Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field will bat 9th.
And Sevi going to tow that slab up here in Fenway. Good numbers overall. We've noted he kind of struggled the last 4 starts. Needs to step up tonight against a tough Red Sox lineup.
There's Mookie Betts. He reached base 6 times, and he gets buzzed. Your thoughts, David?
Great pitch. Wish it was a little lower.
You know, Mookie Betts reached base 6 times last night.
How do they warn? Why would they warn him on that?
That's just an overreaction.
That is such bad stuff. That's what causes problems.
And now Alex Cora gets thrown out of the game. And what Cora's saying, you let him throw my guy, and now we can't get back at him.
We already got back. You hit Gardner to start the game. You hit somebody.
And he didn't do it immediately. That was what was weird. He waited until Cora started screaming from the dugout, and then he warned him.
It's a young umpire, Adam Hamari, who just jumped the gun.
You got to know how to handle these situations. I mean, it's an up and in pitch. okay. You know, nobody got hurt. You don't want to see the ball up by his head. But, I mean, when you look at the replay, Tony, that ball was not at his head. It was up and in.
No, Mookie Betts is a first pitch fastball hitter. He dives a bit. He leans out. That ball had movement on it, too. The glove's right on the inside corner. The ball ran up and in. So you got the message across.
Well, just like that, a lot of spice into this game.
You know what? I mean, if it was intentional, boy, I'll tell you one thing. It just shows you that Sevy means business.
I've never seen a delay between a pitch and then a warning, as if he was ruminating about it and then hearing all the voices, and then he decided to warn him. It made no sense.
Especially taking it upon himself. I mean, maybe a conference with the other umpires or the crew chief. But a young umpire taking it upon himself to make that call this early in the game, I believe, is jumping the gun. And that's why you saw Cora's reaction the way it was. He was livid. Might be a suspension there as he had the little pushing going on with Phil Cuzzy.
Yeah.
All right, now, do the Red Sox say, okay, we're even, we did hit Gardner, or now does Porcello, who runs the risk of being thrown out, does he hit a Yankee?
Yeah, I wouldn't if I were Porcello. I would just pitch. I mean,
you're trying to put somebody away. These games are too big. I mean, if a game gets out of hand or something, okay. But
Neil Walker backhands, fires on the ground to first, but a scoop by Bird, one away.
Got a little distracted, but you know, let's go ahead and do a little house cleaning here, Michael, and give you the pitcher scout report. Brought to you by Nissan. Shop, choose Nissan.com. It's pretty simple today, Paulie. Fastball command, we talked about in the pregame. Too many pitches in the middle. Mixing the changeup. We also showed that in the pregame. And you know, from the Big Lebowski, be the dude.
Be the dude. I tell you one thing. That's after you do that, and it ends up being that's a big out. Because I'll tell you one thing, Betts gets a hit right there. This place is rocking from pitch one.
And I think it was important what Severino did, especially the way that Gardner reacted to being hit. As Paul said, obviously he's not hitting the leadoff batter, but Gardner's reacting with being pushed around. We're getting hit. Nobody is retaliating, and that's what that look to Porcello was, and it sent a message to Severino.
Valid points all the way around, Michael.
That was Cora's first ejection as Red Sox manager. He never was ejected as a player. He had one last year when he was an Astros coach, and he was ejected then for arguing balls and strikes from the dugout. That one is looped into right field. It's a base hit for Benintendi that bounces into the seat, so it'll be a double. Let's look at the Yankee defense, which is brought to you by McDonald's. In the outfield, Gardner, Hicks, and Stanton. That's left to right. Infield, Walker, Gregorius, Torres, and Bird. Third to first, Romine behind the plate. Severino's on the mound.
Talked about Steve Pearce last night. Career game, 3 home runs. Not even supposed to be in the lineup tonight. You got Moreland over there, left-handed hitter. And Cody, you heard the press conference where Cord just finally just said, hey, you know what? Guy hits 3 home runs. He deserves another shot, huh?
It was refreshing because by all rights, if you were going by the analytics or the numbers or slicing and dicing any way you want, Moreland should get this start against a tough righty, Severino.
Became the third Red Sox player to have a 3 home run game against the Yankees. The other 2, Mo Vaughn and Kevin Millar. That one's crushed to left field. Over the wall. See ya. A 2-run home run for Pearce.
If you're Sevy, that's your 8th home run you've given up in the last, 3 or 4 starts, and it comes about hanging sliders. You see a lot of laughing and a lot of things going on the Red Sox side. at some point, you know, you've got to kind of take it personal and go out and try to beat somebody.
There's J.D. Martinez.
We talk about fastball command. Missing on the inside inner half of the plate. Trying to go away. It's been a common theme over the last month or so. And a hot hitter with 4 2 nights now.
I mean, those aren't paint scrapers either. Those are bombs. No doubters. See that movement from Severino very often from the outside to the middle of the plate like you did on that pitch.
After the home run, you can see Sale is riding Severino.
No doubt about it. I'd be doing the same thing if I was on the opposition.
Two and two.
It's one thing to do it. It's another thing to back it up.
Yep. There's a changeup you want to Coney there. You know, he's going to have to work that in whether he wants to or not. There's just too many hitters in this lineup that will sit and hit fastballs hitting the middle of the plate.
Fly ball, right field. Stanton near the line makes the play for the second out.
You know, Paul, when you get in a hot streak like Pierce is in right now, you know, and the manager shows you confidence. So I'm going to put you back out there tonight, even though it's one of the best righties in the league. Is there a carryover effect when you have a 3-home-run game to the next night?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't wait to get to the park, and I mean, you walk in and see yourself in the lineup. You know you earned that spot. You want to continue, especially after, you know, Mookie Betts goes down. I mean, that's the way you get back at pitchers. You know, you go deep, you put some runs on the board.
And in a sport that's consumed with analytics, it's not done that often. That's why it stands out. When you saw the lineup, you go Pierce. When they have Moreland, who's having a good year. And it shows sometimes you can go by the gut, and sometimes it works out. And we've seen guys have hot days, and the next day, well, that's their day to rest, and they don't compute, and they're not in the lineup.
Those are the ones you kind of scratch your head on.
Yeah.
I remember having, you know, good games. The last thing you want to do is come and take a day off because, you know, you want to continue.
Two and two. Last 5 starts, 8 home runs allowed. He allowed 6 in his previous 18 starts over 118 in the 3rd innings. So these last 5 starts, it's just 20 innings pitched, 8 home runs. Bringing 2 on Kinsler. And Kinsler works a walk.
All of a sudden you look up, pitch count 24. It's just not what you want to see if you're Aaron Boone.
And essentially, the Yankees don't have a long reliever tonight in that sense of the word. Gray can't pitch because he pitched on Wednesday. Sessa's been sent down. Canley's on the way, and he's not a long reliever anyway. Maybe he can get a couple of innings out of Cole. Not saying that they're going to need a long reliever, but just setting it up that they don't have one. Runner goes, pitches high, throw to second. Stolen base for Kinsler.
Tell you what, we have not pointed out, but they just ran wild last night, and something's got to change there. I mean, you cannot allow guys right there. That's just a walking lead. That's not even stopping somebody.
This is all over Severino. Yes.
This is just giving guys bases at this point.
And they're doing it to everybody. That's their 87th steal of the year. That leads the major leagues. And coming into the game, 86 of 103, an 83.5% success rate, and that leads the major leagues. So these are not your dad's Red Sox.
It's just a general, it feels like a lack of awareness, you know, allowing that walking lead to take advantage. Usually the running game is controlled from the bench. You know, a pickoff move would be called from the bench. So really all around the board there, I think everybody just kind of just allowed that to happen.
That one's looped into shallow right field, and it's going to fall for a base hit. As Kinsler scores, Nunez picks up a single, and it's 3-0 Boston.
That stolen base does become a run, but you can't fight luck. And right now, the Boston Red Sox ought to go over to the local carryout and play the lottery, because they cannot do anything wrong. They got guys hitting home runs. They got guys stealing bases. They got guys blooping balls in. Right now, you got to fight and fight as the Yankees and hope this changes before this game gets out of hand.
Once again, even though it was a blooper, kind of missed location, a slider that backed up and stayed on the inside corner, actually jammed Nunez.
One 1-0 on Holt. So last night it was the Yankees that jumped ahead. Tonight, the Red Sox have jumped ahead. Hey. 1-1.
First order of business for Severino is to get out of this inning. But as you said, Paul, by throwing 30 pitches, you really lost an inning potentially here. Pitchers try to average about 15 pitches per inning. You pitch 2 innings within 1 on your workload so far.
Going through the signs. Third base coach Carlo Feblis.
Thing I have noticed during these past 3 or 4 games, Coney, is there's not a lot of swing and misses. You know, you're used to seeing Sevy throw good pitches, and now they're being fouled off, where before, you know, he was getting swing and misses and strikeouts. It's just like the extra little life that he has usually is not there right now.
Another nice play by Hicks, as he makes one just off the grass to end the inning as Holt hit it hard. But the Red Sox scored 3, 2 of them on this swing by Steve Pearce. He has 4 home runs against the Yankees in the first game and an inning. State Audi dealer.
Well, we got to forget about last night, and that's easy enough to do right now. You're in a hole, and you're talking about Ace in the hole. Well, he's in a hole also. He has got to find himself here in the next few innings and give this team a chance. And you really got to believe it. I mean, you just can't talk about being able to chase the Boston Red Sox if you don't believe that the division is still out there. A lot of baseball, a lot of weird things happen. The Red Sox have not gone through any kind of scuffle yet this year, and I don't know that there's ever been a team that didn't scuffle. I don't care how good you are.
Well, they've made some changes here. Steve Pearce has moved to right field, which he's played. Mookie Betts is at second, and Moreland's at first. So I would guess that would take Kinsler out of the game. Ron Renicky is the bench coach and thus the acting manager.
Renicky, I actually played with him in Cincinnati a little bit. He ended up coaching Cora in the minor leagues. That's kind of the way their relationship started. Now he's his bench coach. Reverse roles. Been around baseball a long time.
I'm wondering why they're going with Betts at second, because Pearce has played second as well. So you put Pearce out right, you put one of the better right fielders at second base.
Yeah, interesting choice. Obviously something happened to Kinsler. We'll have to wait and see on the stolen base, and then scored on the single. Mookie Betts was a great infielder in the minor leagues coming up. They moved him to the outfield because of Dustin Pedroia.
That's Kinsler scoring from third. A little face at the end. Grimace. 2-2. Up the middle. And Hicks is gunned down. And that was Mookie Betts.
I told you the other night, when you're in a position that the ball will find you. You come in there, second base, first play, up the middle. You see him kind of fall into it, kind of an in-between hop.
Not sure when the last time Mookie Betts, if ever, played second base in the big leagues, but was graded as an outstanding one in the minors.
Gleyber Torres takes outside from Porcello. He played 14 games in 2014 for the Red Sox at second base. Torres with a sky-high pop-up behind the plate. Leon tosses the mask away and makes the play to retire Torres.
Porcello's that type of pitcher that will drive you crazy as a hitter. He's a good front runner, a guy that pitches well with the lead. As this Red Sox, they seem to be as a team. They can tack on runs, but you got to put him in some situations where he can make a mistake and you get back in this game. But he doesn't give away free passes, doesn't walk a lot of guys.
Here's Bird, and a strike.
Yeah, to your point, Paulie, since he's joined the Red Sox, Porcello, in 2015, his record is 52-7 in 74 starts when he receives 3+ runs of support. And he knows what to do when he gets a lead. And he's
strikes out Bird. Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. It's 3-0 Boston. by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer and get behind the wheel of the Audi model you've always wanted. And by Bob's. Everything's better with a Bob Orthopedic. Find out why at mybobs.com. 3-0 Red Sox, bottom of the second. Leon leads off, swings and misses. 0-1. High fly ball left center. On the run is Hicks. And he puts it away for the first out.
Going back to that last play where Hicks made a really good play, but a dangerous play. That ball gets by him. It goes all the way to the wall. Could be an inside the Parker, but he took a chance. I'll tell you, looking back, it got Severino out of the first inning. This is a big inning for him to try to find some kind of rhythm where he can string together some outs.
Pitches high to Jackie Bradley Jr. Into the Red Sox dugout, scattering the team. Checking to see if everybody's okay.
Kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, the nooks and crannies of Fenway, the home side dugout's a lot closer to home plate than the visitor side. You got a long walk over here. If you're a opposing player, visitors, the dugout's just further away. It's closer to the third baseline. The home side, the first base side dugout and the third base side dugout is so far away.
That is a big difference, Cody. Never knew that.
Obviously, the configuration of the ballpark, the green monster in left, and all the quirks, nothing like it.
Strike 3.
Romine kind of setting up away, middle away. It ends up and in. Even more middle than in, and gets the call on the high strike.
Here's Betts, who's playing second base now, and if you watch batting practice with the Red Sox, he's always taking ground balls at short and second. So he has kept himself prepared. Drilled deep to left field. That ball is off the wall. Played out there by Gardner, and he'll flip it into third. It's a double for Betts.
Off-speed pitch, and it didn't sound like he got it all, but this guy knows how to hit, Coney. I mean, he does not have one glaring weakness. The bat a little bit.
Little changeup that floated down and in. And Mookie was out in front enough, but bangs it off the wall nonetheless. And that's that 310 down the line. I think that might even be generous here. You can see him just get it off the end of the bat a bit, out in front of that changeup.
Benintendi, you look at this at 301. You remember he got off to a horrible start. I mean, he has been as hot as anybody in the American League the last month and a half.
Severino definitely wants to take care of Benintendi here because he's approaching 50 pitches, and it's just the second inning. And Benintendi likes hitting against Severino. Look at those numbers against a top flight pitcher. 11 for 23, 2 homers and 10 ribbies.
You know what makes a lefty a tough guy, a tough out, is when you're quick enough to get to the ball inside and you can still cover the ball away. And that's basically what Benintendi is at this time of his career. Very quick on that ball inside. Can still shoot the ball to the left, as he did last night a few times.
Controls the strike zone pretty well. He's got 54 walks against 76 strikeouts. Got 380 on base percentage. Not so much about working walks, but getting good balls to hit, right? Probably getting good pitches to drive and taking the walks when you don't.
There's that man. 35-year-old Steve Pearce. 3 homers last night, a home run already tonight.
Cat and mouse going here. I'll step up, you step off. We'll see. I think Severino's going to give in here.
And a walk to Benintendi. That brings up Pearce. And let's take a look at his home run on StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
But Pearce has always been a good fastball hitter, and he got one there and went up in the light tower. 108.5 miles an hour. 404.
Came up in the 8th inning last night, already having hit 3 home runs, and asked after the game whether or not he was thinking of a home run. And he was very honest. Well, I'm not an idiot. He said, of course I was, but I didn't want to get out of the strike zone. He ended up working a walk. He said, I wanted to stay and do what I do, but of course I was thinking about a home run. Fouled straight back here. Oh and 1. That was 99 miles an hour on the high-speed pitch, and it comes from your local Honda dealer.
Are you an eye black guy, Paul?
No, I smeared it around my face. Now these are kind of like decals. It just didn't work for me. I didn't notice the difference, for one thing.
Grounded to short. They get the force, and that'll do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the 3rd. Yankees take on the Rangers. It's David Robertson Collectible Cup night. The first 25,000 guests in attendance receive a David Robertson Collectible Cup courtesy of Premio Foods. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. We go to the third inning. It's 3-0 Red Sox. Bottom third of the Yankee order. Miguel Andujar starts, and he takes a strike. High drive down the left field line. Is it a fair ball? It is. See ya! A home run for Andujar. Yankees on the board. It's 3-1 Red Sox.
Sometimes that first run is always the hardest one to get. And with one swing of the bat, Andujar shoots one deep to left field here over the Green Monster. Take a little pressure off Sevy, knowing that his offense is going to be able to score some runs, but we got to turn this thing around for the Yankees. Oh, looked like it got in on him a little bit, but well out of here.
Nice play by the first baseman Moreland, and he flips to Porcello, took a base hit away from Romine.
Even looking at last night, the Yankees hit a lot of balls. They scored 7 runs, and they hit a lot of balls hard. They got caught, and here you go again. This is the kind of stuff that you can't fight. I mean, you do everything you possibly can as a hitter, lace one the other way for nothing.
Reason Moreland's at first when Steve Pearce had started there. Ian Kinsler had tightness in his left hamstring. They took him out of the game. Pearce moved from first to right. Mookie Betts moved from right to second, and Moreland took over. And there's a strike to Neil Walker, batting ninth and playing third tonight. Also, last night's starting catcher Blake Swihart. He was put on the DL with a strained right hamstring. So the backup catcher is now Dan Butler, who was called up from AAA Pawtucket.
Make sure you stretch between innings, Michael. There's a hamstring thing going around. I want to see you go down up here.
You know me.
Yeah?
I've got the roller back there.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot.
Foul back to the screen.
That's what you had in the '96 World Series, right? When you caught that Louis Polonia bullet in right field.
Those are always fun.
Your hammy was barking, wasn't it?
The thing doesn't work the way it's supposed to when it hurts.
How long does it take to heal a hammy when you pull it like that?
I still fell this morning. I don't know.
It still hurts, right? 22 years later.
Strike 3. Walker down looking. Take a look at the American League East standings, brought to you by America's Best. It's not just a better deal, it's America's Best. So right now, this is where it stands. 6.5 games in the standings, 5 in the all-important loss column, separating the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Looking at those standings, and Coney and I, we were talking about it. I mean, you think how the Yankees could possibly still believe they can get back. Well, the Dodgers were in a better pace than the Red Sox last year at this time. And in September, lost 15 out of 16 games just out of nowhere. So things do happen. And you look at what has happened bad for the Red Sox this year, nothing. And then seldom do you have a year where something, you don't go through a bump in the road at some point.
Yeah, they're on a 112 game win pace right now, and if they stay on that pace, you're not going to catch them anyway.
No.
But if they have, you know, a 10 or 20 game stretch where they play 500 or less, you know, that's when the Yankees can go on their run and make up some ground within 2-3 weeks.
That's the big key, is that you don't lose faith, that you continue to go out and have these spurts of, you know, winning 7 out of 10 or something like that. Because if they go through a bad time and you're just kind of mailing it in, hey, we're going to be the wild card, then you don't pick up any ground.
Strike 3. Gardner down looking. But the Yankees do get on the board. The rookie Miguel Andujar drove one over the Green Monster. His 14th home run of the year when it lands. It's Red Sox 3, Yankees 1. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. Plus, get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this special offer. J.D. Martinez fouls back the first pitch. Count 0-1. Martinez has reached base safely in 46 straight home games. Waves at that one. In their last 25 games here at Fenway, the Red Sox are 20-5. And overall, they're 39-15 in Boston, winning 15 of their last 18 games. Also, with last night's win, they go 42 games over 500. They have not been that far over 500 since September of 1946.
Ted Williams years.
You got to dig pretty deep this day and age to find anything they've done wrong, to tell you the truth. A lot of weird things happen before the season's over. 1946 champions, huh?
AL champs. Two and two. Another packed house here at Fenway Park. 2 more games to go. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock start, and Sunday, an 8 o'clock start. That'll be on ESPN. Ground ball to third. Walker gets Martinez. Now, when do they meet after this series? Well, 3 games at the stadium, 18th, 19th, and 20th of September, and then the final 3 games of the regular season, 28th, 29th, and 30th here at Fenway. Though after tonight, 8 games remaining. Right now, they've played 10, and they were 5-5 in those 10. Here's Moreland, his first at bat, and he picks up a single.
Get in at bat, you don't even think you're going to play. You're on the bench, a little inside out, shoot one over in the hole where nobody's playing.
Pitch number 61 coming now from Sevy. Desperately needs to, ground ball here, double play. Needs to get a couple of outs to get out of this inning to try to march on and get his pitch count under control.
Sometimes it's very hard for a strikeout pitcher, a dominant pitcher, to be able to do as a save pitches, because they're so used to going after guys and striking guys out. You strike guys out, that's 4, 5, 6 pitches per batter. They add up even on good nights.
Ripped into the seats, foul.
And imagine in the day, Coney, that there's nothing better than when you get over that ego of wanting to strike out everybody, and you can just take a little off and get a sinker in there and a little ground ball double play. That's when you really have learned how to pitch, huh?
And you understand either your opponent and which hitters are susceptible. If they're swinging early in the count, which hitters will spot you a strike too. Some hitters will take a strike and you can get more of the plate and go right after them.
Foul back.
especially this part of the order, the bottom of the Red Sox order. You know, you need to bury this part. Because you know you've had trouble at the top. Mookie Betts is an MVP candidate. And Benintendi, you noted last inning.
Chop to Walker. Fires to second. They'll get one.
Walker does a good job there not rushing the play, understanding off the bat when Nunez running, this is only going to be one out. Take your time and make a good throw and don't rush things. Nunez gets out of the box and he runs pretty darn well.
Here's Brock Holt. Let's see if the Yankees are more attentive to a runner at first base, because as David and Paul mentioned, running starts in the first game and the first stolen base tonight. Just walking off and never look back. And you wonder, is it a function because of strong arm Gary Sanchez being on the DL? But to be honest, all of the stolen bases have been on pitchers. Johnny Bench could be back there. I don't know if they would have been thrown out.
Yeah, it's a valid point, Michael, and definitely a game plan from Cora and the Red Sox. They even admitted they were going to run on Sabathia yesterday, and CC went with his normal leg kick a lot of the times instead of his slide step.
Joel Sherman had a stat in the post today, I don't know if you saw it, and obviously the Red Sox knew this, that in the last 4 years, CC Sabathia has thrown to first base 6 times.
His defense has always been holding the ball. As a lefty, he's staring right at the runner, which is a tremendous advantage. If you can make the runner stop, freeze him, and then be quick to home plate, that's worked fairly well for Sabathia. But last night he was struggling with his command, so he went with more of a leg kick to try to find it. And that gave the opening that the Red Sox needed.
Ground ball, second base, Gleyber Torres, and that will do it. No runs to hit, no errors. 1 man left. 3 in the books, 3-1 Boston. For great deals on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit buyfordnow.com. And by America's Best. It's not just a better deal, it's America's Best. Celebrating 40 years of affordable eye care. Giancarlo Stanton takes a strike as we begin the 4th inning with the Red Sox up 3-1. 2, 3, and 4 in the Yankee order against Porcello. 0-2. Last 41 games, Stanton hitting .340. 10 homers and 30 ribbies. That one is ripped into center field. Bradley's right there. One away. Well, Stanton put on a show in batting practice today. Here's some of the best of BP.
I actually saw this. This went off where the cameras go up there in that well. It's just like, I've taken batting practice here before, and I've never seen balls banging off the cameras up there.
It kind of hit where Porcello's face is. Gregorius takes a strike. Well, action early if you joined us late. Mookie Betts leading off the bottom of the first inning after Brett Gardner had been plunked by Porcello leading off the game. That one is ripped to center field. Gliding over is Bradley. 2 away. So here's some of the fireworks. Gardner gets hit and walks very slowly and looks at Porcello. First pitch to Betts goes up and in. Hamari then warns both sides. Cora doesn't like it, and he's thrown out of a game as the manager for the first time. And then later that inning, Steve Pearce gets another home run, and Chris Sale bench jockeys Severino. Now, you said that you would have done something like that, David. Would another team just yell back, you shut up, and challenge you to a fight?
Yeah, I'll meet you back there behind the wall.
Well, now that you mention it, usually goes dugout to dugout. It's usually all that stuff is just done to fire your team up. A lot of times, a lot of it's eyewash.
Right.
You know, some of it is it can be effective. You know, and it's Chris Sale trying to show Mookie Betts that he has his back. You know, it's that chemistry, that elusive team-building chemistry that everybody tries to figure out how to make it work. You just want to feel like you're alive. You got some energy on the bench. That you got each other's backs. Chris Sale's done the same thing on the mound. I've seen him throw pitches inside and knock guys down and hit people, and he's been on the other side of that coin many times.
Three hard hit balls to center.
Yeah, can't fight it. 3 bullets, 0 for 3.
Bradley with 3 putouts. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-1 Red Sox. On the Yes Network, first at 3, catch complete Game 3 coverage of this Yankees-Red Sox series. Then at 8, catch your soccer kicks as NYCFC faces off against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Only on Yes. The man in the blue shirt is the man who runs the Yes Network. On the production side, that's his lovely wife, Jenna. John J. Filippelli, enjoying the game from the stands.
I don't know if Flip's enjoying it yet. Unless the Yankees take the lead, then I think he enjoys it a lot more. What do you think?
I know you were very comfortable yesterday with Flip right behind you here, so it's weird that he's in the stands.
It's like taking a test with the teacher right behind you, right? Making sure you don't peek anywhere or something. Like, wow.
You think you do the cameras on him? I mean, he's been in the business forever, right? You got to know.
Leon takes low. 2-1.
That was the worst. In the, when I didn't pitch, sitting on the bench. John Moore, somebody, you find me in the dugout, I'd be biting my nails.
You had good lines, though, Cody. You had good one-liners over there.
Picking my nose. He'd always get me. Flip had to know. He had his good game face on there. I think he knew he was on.
2-2. Bottom of the 4th inning. Boston 3-1 over the Yankees. Game 2 of this 4-game set. Soft ground ball. Gregorius makes the play and runs into Gleyber Torres. He still does make the play. Let's see if Gleyber's okay. A lot of smiles there, so all good.
Well, it's another play where the shift kind of, you don't know who's taking what. I got it, you take it.
You're always kind of taught as a shortstop to cut in front. It's an easier play. I think Torres picked him up late, not knowing he was coming over that far.
Traditionally, that was always the third baseman cutting in front of the shortstop on the left side of the infield.
One and one on Bradley.
So last night, Michael, we were showing John Filippelli and his wife. So Flip was talking to his wife, throughout the game on text and saying like, and my wife texted me and she was between the inning. I called and she said, "Oh my," and I'm like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "I just saw the biggest man I've ever seen in my life." I'm like, "Really?" So Jen texts John Filippelli, "Shaquille O'Neal's staying at the hotel." So I text him, "Nev, Shaquille O'Neal is at the hotel." She's like, "Really? Is that who that was?" I'm like, "How can you not recognize this guy? He's like 7'2".
Shaq, he's everywhere.
Exactly. Well, he played here for a while, so he probably still has some reason to be here.
People forget that down the stretch he played for everybody.
Wow. You don't forget he's a big man.
Saw his shoe at one of the charity auctions. Have you ever seen how big his basketball shoe was?
24 or something like that.
Ridiculous.
Three-two. So did Nev sit down and talk with him?
No, she just saw him passing by and just noticed obviously his size, but you would assume there's not too many people who walk around that you wouldn't recognize Shaquille O'Neal. It just caught me by surprise. And I can talk about it because I know she's not listening.
3-2. Strike three. Bradley down looking, second time tonight.
The pitch there, 99 on the inside corner.
We talked about locating better. Romine gives him the target and then presents it well.
That's funny how he caught that ball. Watch, it catches it and it kind of rolls out to the outside, makes it look farther outside, but a good pitch. Watch where this ball hits the glove. And then where it ends up. See, it ends up off the corner.
There's Mookie Betts. Breaking ball misses. Severino seems much more in sync, but his pitch count is dangerously high for a long outing.
Well, you're right, he's added a couple of ticks on his velocity too, starting to hit 99 regularly now, and just beat a really good fastball hitter on that last pitch in the middle in part of the plate. With strength against strength.
Fly ball deep center, backing up Hicks. He's there. And the first 1-2-3 inning for Severino. We're going to go to the 5th inning. Red Sox lead by 2. Brought to you by purplebricks.com. One more game on Yes in this series. That'll be tomorrow at 4:05. And then on to ESPN at 8:05 start Sunday. Then on to Chicago. 3 night games on Yes. Texas Rangers come to town at Yankee Stadium. All on Yes. Breaking ball strike to Gleyber Torres as we start the 5th inning. Some order has been restored to this game. Last night's game played like a pinball machine, and then the early going here, you figured it was going to be more of the same, but 3-1, 5th inning. And Torres goes out of the strike zone, chases a pitch up in the zone to strike out.
Almost an afterthought as he goes and chases that pitch above the letters.
It's one guy that has not looked comfortable at the plate in this series is Torres. He's hit a few pitches. He's getting a little long, and all of a sudden, you know, you start getting a long swing. You rush things and get out of the strike zone a little bit.
Greg Bird struck out in the 2nd inning. Shift is on, 3 infielders on the right side. But what they're doing when they do shift like this is they're moving the shortstop Holt to where the second baseman would play in short right field and keeping the second baseman Mookie Betts where the shortstop would play, so they don't want to make things too complicated for Betts. And Bird down on strikes. He does not look comfortable against Porcello at all.
A lot of movement on that pitch, not overpowering. See him kind of underneath the ball and then kind of stays on the side, and you see that sideways two-seam movement.
Mislocation from Porcello, catching Bird by surprise.
Here's the Yankee offense tonight, Miguel Andujar. And there's a strike. Andujar with a home run leading off the third inning. Two strikeouts, 7 strikes, and a high fly ball to left center. Making the catch is Benintendi, and the Yankees go down in order. And since the home run by Andujar, Porcello has retired 9 in a row. 42 strikes, 9 balls, 51 pitches. Pretty good ratio by Rick Porcello. We're halfway through. Athletics last 40 games at 30-10, 750 winning percentage. The other numbers are pretty impressive. They have the best record in the major since June 16th. So what does that mean in the wild card standings? The Athletics have passed the Mariners, and they're 7 games back in the loss column behind the Yankees. The top wild card team hosts the wild card game. So that's an important position to stay in if you're going to be a wild card. And the Mariners will get a little bit of a boost because offensively they've calmed down. And in the middle of this month, they're getting back Robbie Cano. But they have Cano practicing at third base and at first base because they don't want to dislodge D. Gordon at second base.
Who's kind of got banged up recently too, D. Gordon. I think he had a little bit of an ankle injury.
Benintendi with a fly ball, left center. And Hicks makes the play. And the reason they don't want to just tell D. Gordon, okay, go play another position, if they do make the playoffs, because he was suspended under the PED rules, Cano cannot play in the playoffs. So he can come back and play this season, but once the season's over, he cannot play in the postseason. Here's Steve Pearce. He has hit that light tower closest to the foul pole twice in this series. And when he just hit it for the 2-run home run in the first inning, the way the ball came down, it looked like the game Plinko and The Price is Right. 1-1. He had a short. Here's Plinko right here. So it goes in.
Doink.
Dink, dink, dink.
That's a lot of hits.
Yeah.
That went to the corner slot, though. That didn't score you a lot of points.
No, it didn't.
That's why they only got 1 for that home run. I actually got 2, didn't he?
So Pierce was with the Yankees for 12 games. He doesn't remember much about it. Now, there's one thing I remember about it. Me. He was on the Yankee bus going to the airport, and I was sitting behind him. And for the entire ride, he pounded his head against the seat in front of him for like 40 minutes, like pounding his head against the seat.
Did he have headphones on? Or
no,
was just...
no, he was. No, it wasn't.
He
like
wasn't jamming.
Wasn't jamming the music. He was jamming his head against the front seat.
He wasn't happy.
Giving chase is Gardner, and he runs it down.
Gardy, this is a tough play for a lefty, reaching across your body into left center. Got a great jump on this ball. A lot of times you can be fooled with a big swing. The ball kind of jammed him. See, as a lefty, you got to reach across your body.
Well, the Yankees have enjoyed a very good center fielder playing left field for years now, covering as much ground as anybody does out there.
There's J.D. Martinez, and there's a strike. Well, before it happens, David, let's say they get Martinez in fairly quick order. You have Severino pitch the 6th inning, although he's right around 100 pitches.
You know, he's throwing the ball much better now. I would have no problem pushing him to 115 pitches. You know, but the eye test, you can see progressively the pitch counts have come down. 15 in the 3rd, and then here 11 so far in the 5th. I'd have no problem. He's throwing the ball harder now. 99. His command is better.
Yeah, it's very easy to have somebody hot in the bullpen and let a starter start an inning. And if it's 1, 2, 3, then you leave on a great note. And you know, say a guy gets on, then you go right to the bullpen.
Punched out to right field. It's going to be a base hit. That'll go into that odd corner plate out there by Stanton. Fires in, and Martinez has himself a double.
You would say a guy who's leading the league in RBIs and home run has no business hitting this pitch. But he's able to cover that ball away. That ball's off the plate. He's just so big and strong that he doesn't have to try to do anything other than put the ball in play. Job by Stanton getting over there, because this is that tough corner. If that ball gets by you down there, it just keeps rolling. It's usually where I got hit with beer or got a bottle or something. When you get that close in right field over to the stands, it's like they've kept ammo over there to hit you.
Hits to Moreland as a strike. So with his 98th pitch, he just flew 99 miles an hour.
Yeah, much better recently, the last 3 innings. It really does come down. I mean, get out of this jam right here, and 2 outs and a man on second. You know, it really comes down to that one pitch to Pierce.
Grounded up the middle. Oh, under the glove of Gleyber Torres, goes into center, and that allows Martinez to score. A base hit for Moreland, an RBI, and it's 4-1 Boston.
These are big hits and big runs, and these are the plays that Boston seems to be making, and the Yankees are not at this point. All hit hard, but you know what? You play a shift and you play deep for a reason. Oh, just completely goes under his glove.
And you see his reaction. He thought he should make that play. He was very upset. And even if he can't get the play at first, at least that stops Martinez from scoring.
Well, that's the key, Michael. If you rush it and you're getting a little ahead of yourself to make the throw, it ended up costing a run. But it wasn't the easiest plays. No. He had to cover a lot of ground, and he had to get over there, and a little bit of hop on the end of that one. So.
Popped up, shallow center, backing up. Gregorius still backing up, and he makes the play. for the final out. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left. We go to the 6th inning, 4-1 Red Sox. And the rest of the Picks Morning News crew with all the news, weather, and traffic that you need to start your day. Mornings from 4:30 to 9 on the Picks 11 Morning News, New York's very own. Austin Romine leads off the 6th inning. Red Sox lead by 3. Breaking ball by Porcello is a ball. Yankees have 1 hit against Porcello, the home run by Andújar. That's it. Red Sox have 7 against Severino. Another breaking ball. This one a strike. There's nobody warming in the Yankee bullpen, so although Severino is over 100 pitches, he's going to come out and pitch the 6th. Ground ball to second. Gobbled up there by Betts. And the Mookie chant from the crowd.
Well, I tell you what, Coney, it's not easy to play the outfield and then come in and play second base. I mean, you're talking about 2 completely different positions. Shows you what kind of athlete Mookie Betts is.
He can beat you in so many different ways. Power and speed.
It's funny, he probably had to go dig in his locker to find that old second baseman's glove. The infielder's gloves much smaller than the outfielder's gloves. Well, the A2000, that's an old classic right there. Probably had 1 or 2 of those in your career, huh, Coney?
Geez, back to childhood. They've been around forever. Just the 11th ball that Porcello's thrown all night, an 80% strike rate. And we talked about when he gets a lead, he knows what to do with it. He just pours strikes in there, and even the Yankees' hard hit balls have gone right at the Red Sox fielders. So even when the Yankees squared him up, you know, it was right at somebody, and he just keeps pouring it in there.
Now, Paul, you know, the team starts to notice that. Do they have to change their approach and just jump on the first pitch?
Well, I mean, you don't work counts when a guy's throwing strikes, but you know, as Coney said, we were talking about earlier, there's been a lot of hard hit balls. I mean, to have the approach to go up and hit a line drive and be mad about it, there's nothing you can do.
Swing and a miss. Walker strikes out for the second time tonight.
Seen a ton of these tonight, but a good changeup right there at 81 with good movement. Same movement as his sinking fastball. That makes it very hard to pick up as a hitter when the pitch has the same movement.
Here's Brett Gardner, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Struck out in the third. He has a 5-game hitting streak. Pitch upstairs 1-0. 4-7-0, leading 1-1-0. Second game of this 4-game set. Tomorrow the Yankees will have Chance Adams starting for them, making his major league debut on the mound here at Fenway. Ground ball to first, Moreland there, and another 1-2-3 inning for Porcello, who has retired 12 Yankees in a row. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 4-1 Boston. Indians and Angels 3-3, top of the 5th. Pittsburgh on top of St. Louis 6-2, top 5th. Milwaukee 1-0 over Colorado, bottom 2nd. And on the West Coast, Detroit at open. Toronto at Seattle, Houston and the Dodgers. And in that Angels game, Ohtani has 2 home runs. David Robertson is up. Bottom 3rd of the order for Severino. Fly ball right field. Stanton there. 1 away.
A complete opposite from last night, where balls were flying out of here in the holes, everything. All of a sudden, Michael, you kind of pointed on it and said restored order. The 2 pitchers that have found out a way to string together some outs. The problem is the Yankees look at the scoreboard down 3.
Yankees just with 1 hit on the board too. And I see that as kind of deceiving. I see this game kind of coming down to Steve Pearce's home run. And a couple bloopers before, a blooper before that where a guy got on base, and every ball the Yankees have squared up has been at somebody. And Porcello's done a great job of pitching with a lead and pounding the strike zone. So Severino has progressively gotten much better. He's looked more like the first half Severino after the first inning.
Let me ask you something, Coney, get your opinion on this. And a lot of pitchers would never admit to this, but There are pitchers that don't like to knock guys down, they're very uncomfortable hitting people and things like that. And I go back to some really good pitchers. And then there are guys that are extremely comfortable. Did Sevy get off his game mentally after that first pitch, and it took him a couple innings to get back there?
It's possible. You know, that's a great point. You know, Roger Clemens
loved it.
Did it to Alex Rodriguez in the playoffs in Seattle in 2000. Changed the whole game.
Yeah.
Sent the message. You know, and the key, if you're going to do it, obviously, you don't want to be up around anybody's head.
Yeah.
You know, I said it was a great pitch at the time. I wished it was a little bit lower. I don't think it was that close to Mookie's head at all. That's, to me, a no-no, obviously. You never want to see anybody get injured or hit on purpose, especially up around the head. But knocking somebody off the plate, absolutely.
There are pitchers. I mean, Mike Mussino didn't like to do it, didn't feel like he needed to. Andy Pettit, I actually had him apologize to me at times where, you know, he just didn't feel comfortable doing it. And there are pitchers that way, and like I said, great pitchers. These guys are Hall of Fame borderline pitchers.
Can become a distraction for some guys, and I'm not sure if that's the case with Severino. I think his stuff has gotten progressively much better as this game's gone along. He was throwing 96 in the first. He's throwing 99 now. It's rhythm, it's timing. It's like a hitter that's on a hot streak. You just start turning it loose and letting it go. You're not thinking about mechanics. You're just kind of wheeling and dealing, and Severino's back of throwing the baseball the way he can over the last 4 or 5 innings. Sometimes it's a little mechanical thing. Sometimes it's rhythm. It's tempo. The one thing I always went to was tempo. The right ratio, the right rhythm and tempo, and then your arm slot finds itself.
It'd probably be amazing to put a time clock on a pitcher who's really dealing, and it would probably be within the matter of seconds between pitches. You get into a rhythm of, you know, getting on the mound, picking up the sign, getting rid of the ball.
I always used to think about a 3-to-1 ratio. By the time you got to 3, the next beat was the release point. Hear a lot of golfers talk about that in their golf swing. In the backswing, it's a 3-to-1 ratio. Obviously, you're generating tremendous arm speed to throw the ball 99 miles an hour, but to get your arm into that position, you've got to have the right tempo leading up to it. If you get that right, everything else falls into place.
And Bradley wins that battle, works a 2-out walk, and that's going to do it for Severino. They were going batter to batter, and he got the first 2, then he lost Bradley. So after 115 pitches, Aaron Boone makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. David Robertson will come in. Severino departs. 5 2/3 innings for him. 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 115 pitches. And when he was coming off the mound, Aaron Boone stopped him. He wanted to look in his eye and tell him that he did a fantastic job. See, Severino's looking to walk off, and Boone stopped him.
A lot on his mind, I'm sure. Trying to be the stopper, trying to overcome the past couple games. And, the positive thing is he found his stuff. They let him stretch out. This was a season high 115 pitches. Previous was, what, 112 or 113, but more good than bad tonight. And the bad is that the Yankees are still trying to catch him.
Jackie Bradley Jr. is at first base. He's 11 for 11 in stolen bases this season. Mookie Betts at the plate is 21 of 24 in stolen bases. Benintendi on deck is 20 of 22 in stolen bases. So they put pressure on the defense. Ground ball is short. They get the force, and that will do it. So Robertson comes on to get Betts. Well, 6 in the books here in Boston. Red Sox lead 4-1. Now.com. Not too hard to go over this one. 1 hit. A home run by Andujar. That's it. 1 hit. The other base runner hit by pitch. Brett Gardner. He has retired 12 in a row since the Andujar home run, leading off the 3rd. So Stanton leads off here in the 7th. 0-2. All he does is throw strikes.
Porcello has the Yankees number. I mean, and this is not a ballpark that you can come in and not score runs and win games. So he had a no-hitter through 6 earlier in the year against the Yankees. So he's had a couple really good outings.
Strike 3. Stanton down looking. That seemed like it was right down the middle. And look at his pitch count, 64 with an out in the 7th.
Well, this is a devastating front door cutter. It looks like it's inside, 86 miles an hour, and just darts right to left over the inside corner. Excellent control and pitch from Porcello.
The same guy who won the Cy Young and then led the league in losses last year, and now he's back.
No, he went 2 years ago when he won the Cy Young. He was first in the league in run support. And then last year, he was towards the bottom of the league in run support when he went 11-17. Now this year, back on top, getting 7 runs to work with a game.
And I wonder if there's any correlation, Paul. He throws strikes, he works quickly. Offenses like that, players like that. Maybe that's why you score more runs for him.
Yeah, I don't know that it's any more than a coincidence, but boy, I tell you one thing. He seems to be on the right spot to be on a team that leads the major leagues in runs, and a guy that just doesn't give away free passes, and he makes you beat him.
The Red Sox are a very good defensive team, so yes, to your point, Michael, that definitely pays off when he's on the mound, and when you have outfielders that can run him down, and really a pretty good infield too.
Swing and a miss. Gregorius strikes out.
Porcello got an early lead, and then he just started pounding the strike zone. Little above the belt, good swing back two-seamer there again. Owning the inside corner against lefties. High cutter, got a little bit of a chase there. Break Bird on an 0-2 pitch. Walker on the changeup. And then that front door cutter to Giancarlo Stanton. So he's made some good pitches when he had to. And notice owning the inside corner, especially a right-handed pitcher to a left-handed batter. Throwing that little two-seam swing back. Getting called third strikes is a key.
You see those highlights and you see the ball movement both ways. And you see another easy inning.
15 Yankees in a row after the Andujar home run. Time for the 7th inning stretch in Boston. 4-1 Red Sox. BuyFordNow.com. There's 7 hits in there. A lot of the damage early. The 2-run home run by Steve Pearce. Another run in the first inning. RBI single by Moreland. And those are the 4 runs. Ian Kinsler left the game after the first inning with a tight left hamstring. Well, the Yankee offense is stalled against Porcello. Now Benintendi against Robertson. Swings at the first pitch. Grounds it to Bird. Bird flips to Robertson. 1 away, 1 pitch. Along with Paul O'Neill, David Cohn, and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael Kay, and we thank you for spending part of your Friday evening with us right here on Pix 11. Red Sox scored 3 in the first, 1 in the 5th. The Yankees scored 1 in the 3rd, and that was significant. That was off a home run by Miguel Andujar, the only hit the Yankees have had in this game. The only other base runner, Brett Gardner, was hit by a pitch leading off the game and quickly erased on a double play. And since the Andujar home run, Porcello has retired 15 straight Yankees, and there's no need at this point for the Red Sox bullpen to even consider getting up and warming because Porcello has such a low pitch count. Renicky is the acting manager. Alex Cora was thrown out after Severino's first pitch up and in to Betts. Porcello right now has 69 pitches.
Very Greg Maddux-like.
Three and one to Pierce. And he walks. So Luis Severino started for the Yankees, went 5 2/3, and he threw 115 pitches, his high for the season, but he was much better at the end than he was at the start. And his last couple of innings, you can make the point that he was as sharp as he's been in the last 5 games. All of a sudden, that hop to the fastball, the swing and miss ability was back, the sharp slider, and that took place over the last 2 innings.
Well, you know, you come to expect greatness from Luis Severino, you know, Cy Young Award candidate. It was a step in the right direction, even though I'm sure he's disappointed on the losing end right now as it stands. Still only 2 strikeouts on the night, but the last 4 innings or so were much better. Much more life on his pitches.
One and two on Martinez. Martinez doubled in the 5th inning with 2 outs. He's 1 for 3. So he's reached base safely in 47 straight home games. Let's see if this is a double play. There's 1, and there's 2. So the Yankees turn to 6-4-3 to end the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're going to the 8th inning. 4-1 Boston. Yanks. Severino went 5 2/3. Porcello dealing now in the 8th. Miguel Andujar, the Yankees solo hit, a solo home run. Steve Pearce, a 2-run home run after hitting 3 last night. First pitch, of course, it's a strike from Porcello, his 70th pitch of the night, a breaking ball on the outside corner. Mookie Betts takes over in right field now. And that's up and in. So Betts back to right. And Bogarts is at short. And Holt moves from short to second. So that means Pearce is out of the game. There's Holt. What's going on here? Glaber looks like he might have been hurt on that pitch up and in, and Yankees quickly take a look.
Looked as if he was pointing at his left elbow, which was the one that was surgically repaired with Tommy John surgery. We'll take another look. Could have been just a little bit of a tweak. He's going to stay in this game. It's a good sign. Stretch it out. Anytime you're bending your hand back like that, you're stretching out your forearm and your elbow.
Anytime you've had an injury and you even feel it, you know, it gets back into your mind. You know, is it okay? Everything all right?
You know, people seem to think Tommy John surgery nowadays it's just hey, ho hum, go get it. But they drill 2 holes in your elbow to transplant that ligament.
Foul back.
So I would imagine it can be tweaked here and there, and you kind of feel like hitting a funny bone. You could feel it for a minute or two.
It was a good solid swing right there.
Foul back again.
You know, they've really worked the upper part of the strike zone, even outside the strike zone on Torres tonight. He swung at a lot of them.
Swing and a miss. Torres down on strikes.
This is really about as uncomfortable as I've seen Torres in the last month and a half since he's been in Fenway. Don't know if it's the way they're pitching him or if he's trying to do a little bit too much. His swing has gotten a little big where it looks like he's trying to use that green monster. But you don't see a lot of these swings from him that off balance.
Greg Bird, fly ball to deep center, backing up is Bradley, and he makes the play right in front of the wall in one of the deepest parts of the park.
You talk about a fastball that has life on it. Sometimes a fly ball does too. See, Bradley had a nice, easy fly ball, and then all of a sudden this ball started like tailing towards the wall. You see him kind of put on the Jets here for a minute.
Strike to Andujar. He has thrown first pitch strikes galore. The only hit in the game for the Yankees by Miguel Andujar, leading off the 3rd. Since then, 17 straight retired. Now it looks like it's going to be 18 straight as the Yankees go down in order again. Porcello is pitching a masterpiece, and we will go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-1 Red Sox. 3 runs for the Red Sox in the first, 1 in the fifth. Yankees only run and only hit in the third inning. So the Red Sox lead 4-1. And Aaron Boone again makes the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. So Tommy Kahnle, who was told in Moosic, Pennsylvania at 2 o'clock he was going to Boston, made it in time and is in the game. And those are the numbers at AAA. Since June 4th, when he was demoted, 21 games, 20 2/3 innings. So he actually went up and down, 2.18 ERA. He threw 8 pitches Wednesday, and he had 4 days off before that, so he's well rested. Kahnle, an explosive fastball, good changeup last year. This year, the fastball didn't have as much life. So there was a DL stint, and then there was a demotion. There's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Coney, you know how you feel after like a 5-6 hour car ride right now in this day and age? You get out, you feel like everything in your body's stiff. Well, that's about what Scranton, that's about 5 or 6 hours from here.
Are we there yet?
You're telling me. I'm just heading to the bright lights of Fenway. Just drive. Are we there yet? Wow.
Swing and a miss as Moreland down on strikes. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So they're getting Kimbrel up. Would that be the right move, the way Porcello's pitching? Retired 18 straight, low pitch count. It would be a save situation. Pitch outside to Nunez. And as great as Kimbrel is, would the Yankees rather see him or continue to flail against Porcello? Strike. He's at 78 pitches through 8 innings.
How many did Maddox throw against us in Game 1 of the '96 World Series? Remember that? It was like 78.
Well, yeah, well under like 90. Coney, you put yourself in this position, though. You got this game in hand. You pretty much shut the Yankees down. Does it hurt you to think that you don't go back out there and finish this game, or do you know you've got a great closer and that's just the way the game's played?
Yeah, there's a lot of variables involved. Does Kimbrel need the work? He hasn't pitched since Sunday. You know, maybe that factors into decision making. You could still run Porcello out there if you get somebody on base and you have Kimbrel ready to go.
Right.
Looks like he's throwing with some intent there, though. There's 2 outs.
Although he's still got his game face on at this point, so they'll probably put him out and have Kimbrel ready in case somebody gets on.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with running Porcello out there and having Kimbrel backing him up. We will see. I agree. That still looks like somewhat of a game face. Kimbrel probably for Cora similar that Chapman is for Boone, in that they're such power guys. If they don't work enough, they don't throw as well. Their stuff is actually diminished with too much rest. 4 days off for a closer. Yeah, that's to the point where you're thinking, hey, we got to get him in the game. And then you go back to the flip side, but Porcello.
Yeah. Complete games, or you just don't see him very often.
I think also stylistically, Porcello's control and the way he's pitched tonight leaves a manager and a pitching coach with a comfort level. He's not going to go out there and walk the first guy on 4 pitches.
Lined into center field. Hicks is there in a 1-2-3 inning for Tommy Kahnle. Yankees coming up in the 9th, trying to break the streak against Porcello. 4-1 Red Sox. The night, he's faced one batter over the minimum through 8 innings. 1 hit for the Yankees, Miguel Andujar's home run. Here's Romine. And a strike. One other batter got on. Gardner was hit by a pitch to start the game, then quickly erased on a double play off the bat of Stanton. Fly ball into right center. Bradley is there to make the play. 1 away. The last time a Red Sox pitcher at Fenway Park threw a complete game against the Yankees with no more than 1 hit was Rube Foster on June 21st of 1916, and that was a no-hitter. And the last complete game by a Red Sox pitcher against the Yankees with no more than 1 hit was Pedro, September 10th of 99, 17 strikeouts, 1 hit. The 1 hit was a Chili Davis home run. And Walker hits one deep to center. Going back, Bradley, he leaps, and he makes the play.
Coney, I'm sure you remember pitching here. If you can keep the ball in the middle of the field, away from the lines, this field can take away a lot from you as a hitter, too. This is a deep part of the ballpark.
Especially with that guy out there running him down.
And Walker hits one deep to center.
It was Greg Bird last inning, right up against the wall. Neil Walker this inning. And Porcello's pitched a gem of a game, but he's also had the fortune of any ball that's been struck well has been caught.
6 putouts for Bradley in center. And here's Gardner. Yankees down to their final out. Sellout crowd at Fenway, many of them standing. And now down to their final strike.
Pounding the strike zone tonight. 81% strike rate. Out of those 83 pitches, 67 strikes.
Gardner 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. And the 0-2. Foul back. Yankees trying to avoid going 6 back in the loss column. With a rookie making his major league debut for them tomorrow. The 0-2. 1-2. So that certainly added a sense of urgency to this game. How will Chance Adams do tomorrow? Going up against Nathan Eovaldi. Grounded up the middle. Bogarts. And a complete game, one hitter for Rick Porcello, and the Red Sox win 4-1. What a performance by the Red Sox right-hander. 21 in a row after the Andujar home run. Some hard-hit balls, David, but he got it done.
Well, you just love the style. Once he got the lead, he threw strike after strike. He was consistently ahead in the count. His defense made plays behind him, and you could see the emotion, Paulie. I mean, you throw 9 innings, a one-hitter against the Yankees.
Yeah, there's no doubt that 30 seconds from now it'll be rocking and rolling in that Boston clubhouse, and it's hooting and hollering, let's put these guys away. The Yankees have got to turn this thing around tomorrow, and you said it, Michael, with a rookie pitcher.
A rookie pitcher making his major league debut. So the Red Sox beat the Yankees 4-1. Come on back. We'll wrap things up here on Pix 11.